So today we're going to be solving equations and inequalities. So it's actually just relatively, you just have to solve it and you have to prove if the answers are true or not. So the first one here, you have x over 4 plus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. So you subtract 4 from both sides. You get x over 4 is greater than or equal to 1. Since this 4 is on the bottom, that means it's being divided. So you're going to do the opposite, and you're going to multiply 4 to both sides. So your answer is going to be x is greater than or equal to 4. So this is a false statement because it wants to figure out which solutions equals -4. So let's do the next one. You have 13.9 minus 2x equals 5.9. So you can subtract 13.9 from both sides. Now you have -2x because when the subtraction sign becomes negative, there's nothing attached to it in front of it. So 5.9 minus 13.9 is actually -8. Then you divide by -2 to both sides, and you get x equals a +4. So then you get +4. So now we're going to the next one. So then you're going to have -3 minus 3 over 4x is greater than -1/2. So since this is a -3 or -3, you're going to add 3 to both sides. So now you have -3 over 4x is greater than 2.5. Well, since I have two numbers right here, this -3 is being multiplied. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to divide it. And since this 4 is being divided, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to multiply it. So when I do that, it cancels out. It's called multiplying by the reciprocal. So since I divide by a negative, the sign in the middle flips. And I come over here and I do the same thing. I multiply by 4 over -3. When you do that, you get 3.3 repeating. So this one's false as well. All right, next one. You have 5x plus 16 is equal to -4. So first thing you do is just subtract 16 from both sides. You get 5x is equal to -20. And then you're going to divide by 5 to both sides, if my pen would work. And you get x equals -4. So this one is a true statement. Last one. So now I have -12 3/4, which I'm just going to make that -12.75 because 3/4 is less than 3x plus 9 1/4, which is 9 1/4. So I'm going to subtract 9.25 from both sides. That's a 2 right there. When you do that, you get 22 is less than 3x. So when you divide 3 into here, you get 7.33 repeating. So this is saying that 7.33 is less than x. Another way you can say that is x is greater than 7.33. So this one is a false statement as well, because x has to be greater than 7.3 repeating. So there's only one true statement. How funny. All right. Number 2, Emma has 2 items left to purchase on her school supply list. Composition books are $1.25 each, and folders are $1 each. Emma has no more than $10 to spend and knows that the folders will cost a total of $4. Emma uses the inequality below to determine how many composition books she can purchase. So first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to solve this inequality. So you have 10 is greater than or equal to 4 plus 1.25. I'm going to change that c to an x. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract 4 from both sides. You get 6 is greater than or equal to 1.25x, and then you divide it, and you get 4.8, which is greater than x. Again, I don't like the way that they write this. I like to have the x on the left side, so you can always switch it. So now you can say x is less than or equal to 4.8, because this is saying the same thing, because the sign is still eating the 4.8. So this is saying that she can only buy 4.8 composition books or less. So they're asking you, can she buy 5? You're going to say no. Well, you can't buy 4.8 books. She can actually buy 4 books, or 3, or 2, or 1. Right? So she can buy 4, 3, 2, or 1, and maybe even 0, but she does need to buy a book. But you can't go into the negatives, because you can't buy negative a book. So those are the only numbers that she can purchase when buying a composition book. Number 3, Ms. Beaumont gives her math students a quiz every Wednesday. This week, her students determine which values are true for given inequalities. The correct values for the inequality below are missed by several students. The tables below shows responses for 4 of the students. So what we're going to do is we're going to write our inequality. So then you're going to add 4 to both sides. So now you have x over negative 2 is less than or equal to 14. Since that negative 2 is being divided, you're going to divide negative 2 to both sides. You get x, and then the sign switches to greater than or equal to negative 28. Remember, the reason why the sign switches is because you're multiplying both sides by a negative number. So this guy was wrong because he said it was negative 29. Negative 29 is not greater than negative 28. Mac is correct because he said that the answer was negative 28. The answer could be negative 28 because this says x is greater than or equal to negative 28. JP is wrong because that's too small. Anna K is correct because negative 27 is greater than negative 28. So we just listed out all the ones who are correct and all the ones who are wrong. Okay, number 4. Explain the differences between the solution sets for each of the following. So when you solve this, you get x is equal to 3 over 2. Excuse me, that's not right. X equals 3. And when you solve this, you get x is greater than or equal to 3. So the difference between it, I'm not going to write this out, is that the difference for this one is it only has one solution. It's 3. The difference with this one, the answers can be 3, 4, 5, and so on. Because it's an inequality, it has all those answer choices. All right, flip to the back to number 2. So it says, for which of the following is 1 a possible solution? So what I recommend doing is probably pausing the video and solving which ones actually equals 1. But just to save some time, I'll show you that the answer is going to be J. When you solve it, you get x is less than or equal to 1. But you might get stuck on H. Okay? The reason why is because the answer for H is x is less than 1. This is saying the answer can be 0, negative 1, negative 2, and so on. This is saying the answer can be 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, and so on. So J is actually the one that actually has 1 as the solution. All right, number 5. The K family has saved a maximum of $750 for their family vacation to the beach. While planning the trip, they determined that the hotel will average $125 a night, and tickets to the boardwalk are $75. The inequality below can be used to determine the number of nights the K family could spend at the hotel. What value of H does not make the inequality true? So you're going to solve it. So you get 750 is greater than or equal to 75 plus 125H. So you subtract 75 from both sides, and you get 675 is greater than or equal to 125 times H. Then you divide 125 to both sides. When you do that, you get 5.8 is greater than or equal to H. This is saying 5.8 is the greatest number. That's the greatest capacity. Another way you can do it is you can rewrite it and say H is less than or equal to 5.8. So that means I cannot have more adults than 5.8. So it means that 6 adults is way too big. Excuse me, six nights. 6 adults is the another problem on your homework. My apologies. So they cannot stay more than 5 nights because you can't stay 0.8. So this is the right answer. Okay, this is all we're doing today. All you have to do is solve equations and inequalities. Remember, inequality has multiple solutions, so you got to be careful of what the sign is actually telling you to do. Have a great day, guys.